Hey there, I'm Alanis here in Philly at Dilly Dally, talking to Arrows and Her here with.
I'm Damien Chacon.
Yeah, so how's it feel to be back playing a show again?
Feels great. We're an interesting story because like we never left on bad terms,
Mhm.
and two of the members lived in Philly. I was living in Ohio for a bit, and then I moved here, and then the bass player is my best friend growing up, so it was just like Dove asked us, and we played together 6 years ago. We got back together for like a minute, for like one. We did two shows six
Yeah.
years ago, basically. Um, and yeah, it was like, why not? Because we, you know, were no bad blood. A lot of the issues with the band were like labels and getting older and, wanting to do music, but also realizing what that means and it just kind of not being
Mhm.
like feasible and also like kind of made made it not fun
Yeah.
to like try to like the marketing and the touring and the this and the that,
Mhm.
it just seemed like way more trouble than it was worth kind of thing. But playing the songs and getting to play with my friends is like what's so fun about it and good, you know,
Yeah, so
cathartic.
so talking about like people living in Philly, like the band has its origins in New Jersey, but also like New Jersey has a pretty storied history when it comes to emo, like, Thursday, MCR, Front Bottoms, and countless others.
Oh yeah.
What was it like being a part of that scene?
Well, we're from North Jersey, right outside New York City. So it kind of felt more like we were a New York
Mm.
band, um, or like we were just right outside New York. So we kind of went with the Montclair scene more than
Okay.
like New Brunswick or the Shore,
Mhm.
um, and it was pretty awesome. It was a great time. The Meat Locker mostly.
Mhm.
We played some house shows in like New Brunswick and stuff, but um, yeah, it was just Tawny Peaks, Pine Grove early on, like
Mhm.
they when they were like, the band we did a split with Gifts. They were really cool. But that's like we didn't, I loved Saves the Day,
Yeah.
and I liked like Mike Hem, but like, that's a bit before our time, and also like, a little bit of a different style,
Mhm.
but a lot of love for a lot of bands from Jersey that were pretty formative.
Mhm.
Armor for Sleep, a bit of a different scene again, but yeah, it felt at the time it was kind of, I wasn't even really trying to do an emo thing. I was kind of into post hardcore and like, minus the bear tapping and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So it was a weird mishmash, but we ended up like people that were involved in like the emo revival scene kind of, it kind of just clicked
Yeah.
with like modern baseball early on, like, like Marietta, Sun. There was just like a bunch. There was a bunch of cool bands coming out of Long Island too.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah,
ever play any shows like Modern Baseball or
yeah.
Marietta?
A few times we played with Modern Baseball, like 3 times. Once in Long Island, twice in the Meat Locker,
Mhm.
and Marietta we played like a fest in like somewhere in PA, with Sorority Noise as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, we were supposed to play like a really cool show that never happened because I think weather like
Mhm.
canceled it in Montclair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you talk about identifying the Montclair scene or the Jersey scene, so for you it's more Meat Locker and less Stone Pony?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We never really, we played, I don't even, when we came back, we played an Asbury
Mhm.
Park show, but we never really went to shore.
Yeah.
We played like New Brunswick basement shows a bit, a bunch of, a good handful of times throughout the years. But Montclair's where we like played probably the most.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then like so going back to like that time period, what kind of did you notice from the scene that was existing then versus now? What are some of the differences you see in like the current generation of bands?
Well, I feel like right when we like called it quits, that's kind of when like Prince Daddy started
Mm.
getting mom jeans. Like that's the style it went right when we called it an end. Um, Screamo's back in a huge way.
Yeah.
I was in a band that was doing that earlier on too in like 2019.
Mm.
Um, The difference, I mean, I feel like, I feel like back then there was like a good chunk of bands that were like pretty mathy and like, you know, post rock style, and now it does feel like more upbeat
Hmm.
in general, and screamy,
Yeah.
yelly, yeah. Where I feel like it was, there was always a combination of that too. There's
Hmm.
always been overlap, but yeah.
Yeah. So with this reunion, I saw that you guys put out a shirt design. That's kind of a design that you used, in the past.
Right.
How does it feel to kind of bring back some of those old themes and old motifs to like give to a new audience?
I mean, it was kind of, I mean, we didn't really I feel like I've been out of the grind of like being in a band and like getting my stuff in order for years. So it was just kind of like we had the PDF to like send to the guy. The printer, we made just like a small batch for the show. So it wasn't like a conscientious thing, but it was kind of like, oh, this colorway, or just white ink black shirt, like
Yeah.
it looked cool. And when we originally did it, was like a baby blue shirt with red ink.
Right.
So it was just like, you know, it felt good to just have something that's a callback to our old design, but like nothing,
Hmm.
um, I mean, it just felt like an easy thing to, you know, come up with. Yeah.
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 And so the thing that I discovered your band from was your first EP, Leaving, coming out in 2012. So 13 years later,
Yeah.
what's it like to think about that album now? How do you feel about it?
Well, so much time has passed. I feel like I basically am a different person
Mm.
and different headspace. Um, a lot of the things that it kind of does feel like I'm from a outsider's perspective of it now. Um, but I mean, when I hear it, I do feel proud of it,
Mm.
and like, I do identify with some of it kind of does spark things that have been dormant for years, because I know I kind of like recollect things that I don't normally think about. So it's just it's been I mean, the fact that people still listen to it is kind of feels great, because that was always a thing that felt weird, like, you know just getting people to hear it was always hard. It's
Mhm.
like always a mission. So the fact that like we did what we did and it's been almost 10 years and people still listen to it, feels great. It feels like
Mhm.
we did create that piece of art that has held up to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where do you see next for Arrows and Her? Do you think there might be more touring or maybe music on the way? One-off shows here or there?
I mean, kind of. We have me and Gigi, the guitarist, live together. Gigi's in like a very busy band, but
Soul Glow,
Soul
right?
Glow, yeah.
I'm a big Soul Glow
Oh
fan,
yeah,
by
Soul Glow rips.
the way. I honestly didn't know that they were in Arrows and Her, and I saw them here, and I was like, wait,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like, cause Soul Glow played with some friends of mine in Phoenix a few years ago, and I've seen them. I saw them when they played with oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on who they played with last year. I think it was Touche Amore. But
Okay.
like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Soul Glow. So I saw him
Yeah.
walking around. I was like, holy shit, like Soul Glow. And I, paid some compliments to him, and then I saw him on stage. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm like, this dude's just crazy talented.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best, if not the best musician I've ever played with. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Um, so I mean, it is kind of open ended. It is a matter of like, if we I mean, it's kind of up to me in some ways, if I want to pursue trying to write a new record and
Mhm.
all that. And I mean, I think it would be nice, but I can't like say for sure like it will happen. But there's been a few people that have reached out about like booking some stuff, and someone offered about a repress with the vinyl, and
I would appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, it would be very cool. So it's kind of a very open ended, very plausible,
Yeah.
because there's nothing set up. This was the main goal and the main like
Mhm.
upcoming event, and then after that it's just kind of a matter of seeing if everyone's available and wants to do it genuinely, and finding the time for it. But like, since we are all in, our relationship is very good and strong, um it's not like we were ever going to be like, oh no, I can't stand that person or
Mhm.
whatever. So it's definitely very possible. I'll say
All right.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was also kind of wondering, where did the name Arrows in Her come from? Because it's a very like out there kind of name.
Yeah, it came from originally there was a sonnet called Astrophel and Stella, and it was kind of like a part in it, like it was like one of the verses deep in that says, "In her eyes, arrows infinite,"
Yeah.
and then I just kind of like flipped it. But when I made that band, it was actually a year after my mom had passed away, and she, it was obviously extremely traumatic. And I think I wasn't in a place to like recognize how to deal with it or like like cope with it. And she had a disability. Her back was, she had like a slip herniated disc. She was diabetic, had kidney failure, was on dialysis, died at 44. So, and a lot of like the song writing is like the despondence and the sadness and like loneliness and like whatever, a lot of what I was dealing with immediately after, and then for years obviously that doesn't just go away,
Yeah.
but it kind of felt like, you know, everything that she had, every ailment and all the turbulence was essentially just another, you know, so it kind of fit the narrative of what the name came from.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always just kind of, another interesting point is that there's no gendered language in any of the songs. So it's interesting that the name has her in it, but then there's
Yeah.
no she, him, whatever. Like, and I don't know if that was even necessarily a conscious thing, but it was just very, felt like it made, I think like also my own, I'm diabetic, I have some health stuff, but I felt like I was like mirroring or living a parallel life to my mom. So I don't know, I think it was kind of just like this cathartic
Yeah.
space to like write about overall just, you know, feelings of, you know, existentialism and you know, I don't know, coping with the difficulties of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And one final question would be, what is the Arrows in Her song you're most proud of?
Maybe Permanently Revolting, because
Okay.
that was the most collaborative with Gigi and Nick. Even Nick wrote like one of the intro guitar things, and I think like I was just very, the composition of it I feel like is very, I love that, the composition, and it is the newest or one of the newest, so I guess maybe that's part of it, but other than that, maybe the plot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for doing this. It was
course.
great seeing you. And
Thanks
then
for coming out and having me.